Hi and welcome to the instructional video on setting up the under-awning annex on your XT17HRT family. You'll see behind me I've already started part of the setup. I've attached the draft skirt to the side of the caravan and pegged it down and placed my floor dead set in the center and pegged that down also. Now we'll start erecting the rest of the items around the awning. Something that's important to get right is attaching the anti-flap kit to the awning. Now, the anti-flap kit, when is in the clamp position, has a sail track down the back of it. That's what the end walls and roof infills slide into, just at the back here. You can see it's made up of a section of several clamps, which are clamped via these cam locks on the opposite side. Now, it's important that you understand what the fittings are. On this one, this rather long hooked fitting connects to the barrel fitting in the awning cassette against the body of the caravan. Now they attach via these splice pieces. The opposite end is a bit different. This plastic housing here literally just sits snugly on top of the awning leg hinge at the top. No special way of attaching, just simply sits on it, and the clamping around the awning fabric holds it all in place. Now, a very, very important tip. When you're putting the awning fabric into these clamps, ensure that you never have part of it sitting on top of one while you clamp the other. It will in fact act like a pair of scissors and can shear the fabric. So you need to make sure that the entire awning fabric is inside the clamps, not sitting on top before you start clamping down to avoid that damage. Important disclaimer, you will need a step ladder to achieve putting this annex together. Now I've put my anti-flap strut in place, it's hooked on to the barrel here, the other end sitting neatly on top of the hinge. Now I've deliberately put the awning legs up out of the way. Makes it easy for me to move around and put the rest of the annex together. I've pushed my fabric in, made sure it's secure inside the clamps, and I've clamped it down. Now, if you find these are a bit loose, you can actually clamp the fabric down and loosen or tighten them by turning them once they are locked in place. So that's actually quite tight. I may actually have to back that off before I unclamp it. But like I said, you can give them a little bit of extra clamping that way. Make sure you don't overdo it and break them. Now I've got this end piece in on the awning, which is an infill from the strut, the anti-flap strut, to the end wall. Before I remove the backing on the Velcro and permanently fix it to the end of the awning here, I'm just going to continue setting up, getting everything right to ensure once I do put the stick-on Velcro on the end of the awning, it is in exactly the right place and everything meets up correctly. So to explain to how I've got to this point here, what I've done, slid the top infill piece in through there, brought it through, attached my Velcro and everything down the wall, and I've made sure that the D-ring in the bottom corner of this wall, this end wall, sits down at the ground at the correct height. All the Velcro matches up. The infill Velcro that's already in this sail track is attached to the last end of the top section here, and the Velcro with the self-adhesive section attached to it now runs horizontally around the end of the awning, across to the body of the caravan, and horizontally out to just above the sail track. So that's designed to try and keep the water out of the corner here. So it all lines up nice. So when I dismantle this, I can peel the Velcro away from each other up there on the awning and leave the stick-on Velcro in place, ready for next time so it can go straight on. Now, attaching the front wall, we want to use the upper of the two sail track sections on the awning. So to access the upper one, we need to thread the front wall through from this end of the awning because the other end is closed off. So now we've got that in, we can tidy up our Velcro here, do up all the corner here and move on to the other end. I'm going to peg all the walls down last because I want to get everything absolutely spot on before I peg it down, and then it'll look neat and tidy and it'll sit securely. So now I'll just continue button up the corner here. So now I've got my roof infill section in. I've slid it into the anti-flap kit across the back, all the way up to the end, and I've laid it out across the top where I believe the Velcro should stick on around the end of the awning, and lined it up with my infill piece here. So it all looks neat and tidy, but again, I'm not going to take the backing off the Velcro until I've got it spot on, and then make sure it's stuck on in the right place for the next time. To complete this end of the annex, there's 4 poles. So the one that's going to confuse everyone is this little one with the yellow tape around it. Got an eyelet at one end and a very short spigot at the other end. Where this goes is actually the spigot fits into a hole drilled in the end of the anti-flap kit. Can't miss it. It's right down the end near the fascia of the awning. It slots in, and then the corner pole here, which is a spigot pole, fits into that. Then we've got a spreader pole and another spigot pole, and I've got my ropes out ready to hold it up all in place. What I have in my hand is a rain cap, and your kit comes with 2 of them. And what they do is they go on the spigot of the pole once the canvas is in place, to stop water getting inside the hole that's there for the spigot. Why I'm putting them on now is A, they've got to go on, but 2, they actually hold the canvas in place. So the canvas can't pop off the end of the spigot pole and make it difficult for me to put it up. I can actually adjust these poles, put my ropes on, and I'm set to finish off the wall. So to complete off our annex, we've connected up the front wall, got it all Velcroed up, adjusted our poles, and got everything straight, adjusted all the pole heights to make sure that the D-rings were at ground level and the canvas was sitting nice and relaxed. Pegged it all down and then readjusted our poles. We've also fitted the center support pole just in the middle of the awning behind the fascia, and put in the curve pole on the roof so it puts a nice curve in the roof to try and help the water run off. Remember, when you get a downpour, you get rain, and you're using your awning, or you've got the annex set up, you must drop one end of the awning to make sure that the water cannot pool no matter what. Absolute must do, stop any water from pooling on top of the awning. So that's it, that's how you set up the annex on the XT17HRT family. For more information, download the owner manual, make sure you've got a copy of the pole diagram, and check out our other setup and masterclass videos on our YouTube channel.